Well, hello, beautiful people. I'm Janae.
And I'm Janeane.
And welcome to the series finale of Get Dating
with Janae and Janeane.
With twinsies.
With different dependsies.
Nah. So on this very special episode, we have a very special guest with us today. Ravi Naidu, actor, producer, general badass.
Yeah.
And Scout.
And Scout.
Is Scout the cutest thing ever? Yes.
He's really the badass.
So today we're going to be talking about chivalry and equality in today's dating world. So Ravi, what does chivalry mean to you?
What does chivalry mean to me? That's a really good question. I think it's been lost. I think when I was growing up, chivalry just was simply meant that men treated women with equality, but also recognized that men and women are different in certain ways. If I'm on a plane and I'm seated already, but I see a lady who's trying to lift up a heavy suitcase up into the overhead bin, and clearly it's heavy and she's having some troubles with it, and it doesn't matter whether she's a woman or not, but you just help. That's kind of chivalrous. And then there's other forms of chivalry, I think, that are kind of a little bit more rooted in romance. Maybe like, you know, you hold the door open for a lady. I hold the door open for everybody, but you definitely, you know, I was just taught to hold the door open for a woman. If you're on a date, you open the door for your date when she gets into your car, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So what do you feel has changed most then in that regard from when you first started dating to now, if anything?
Oh, you know, from a guy's perspective, it's kind of confusing nowadays.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's very difficult because I've been on dates where I've done things that I thought were chivalrous, but...
Like what?
Well, just holding the door open for my date. And in a few times, I mean, I could tell that she was like slightly offended, like she thought that I was being sexist by doing that, right? I think it's taking it to a bit of an extreme, you know?
And because it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, like it's fun to sort of just play these roles sometimes, you know, or just like celebrate. Like I feel like I get so used to, as a strong, independent woman, you know, making all these decisions all day and, you know, calling the shots in a lot of ways in my work, that sometimes it's nice to have somebody else make some of the decisions at one point and like maybe pick me up. Maybe he's decided where to go to dinner or something like that. And that's fun for me. And at the same time, I like doing that for my man.
Yeah.
You know, and we're like, all right, I got, you know, Valentine's Day this time and I get to decide everything and then just let him receive it. And that's fun too, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. And I gotta tell you, I mean, I don't know how other guys feel about this, but I love that. I mean, I totally love when, you know, a woman that's special to me in my life, you know, takes charge and just does stuff and doesn't always, you know, like assume that it's my role as, you know, the man in the relationship to plan all the dates or anything like that, you know?
At the same time, I do like that on a first date, I like it when a man plans the first date. I do.
100% agree.
It shows effort. It shows that he's putting in some work. And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't necessarily need him to pick me up on the first date. I'm happy to Uber and meet him there. So if it doesn't go
that's
well,
a good example right there.
Yeah.
Like to me, if I am gonna, you know, put myself out there and ask a woman out, and she says yes, then luckily, sometimes.
And who wouldn't?
Whatever.
ladies, he's single.
Just saying. And
Disgustingly
fabulous.
single. Like I want to like plan the date and I want to like, you know, show her a good time. Like I enjoy doing those things. I kind of relish in like picking out like, you know, would this be a better movie first date, or like where are we gonna eat? What are we gonna eat? What are we gonna do? And LA is such a cool city. You have so many things you can do. You can plan like really, really cool first dates. Like you can have like a cool hiking first date and stuff like that. You know?
I love that. And okay, so here's my next question. So you like to plan the first date, right, to impress her. What about paying on the first date? Do you always pay the check, or do you think like, oh, go Dutch, equality? What is your stance on that?
If I ask a woman out, I'm asking her out. Like, you know, if I ask a woman out and I'm planning the date, then it makes no sense to me that I wouldn't pay for all of that, you know?
True, yeah.
Now, you know, if I've been dating someone for a little while, this is where we get into, you know, I really, really appreciate when I don't have to be doing that all the time. And it's not just about the money, you know? It's not just a question of the money expenditure and stuff like that. It's kind of like, it feels nice to feel, that makes me feel appreciated for doing those things when those types of things are done for me too.
Yeah,
You know?
It's not just expected that you
that's
always
the word.
pay.
That's the word.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a
Because then it
it's a
gets into
partnership.
that, you know, like taking things for granted, and then like that expectation, and then it's weird if it doesn't.
I just lose motivation, you know, like it just
Like
kind
it's
of.
just a free ride, or like how you got some skin in the game, you know. And skin in the game doesn't have to mean, you know, literal skin.
But if it does,
It
Nice,
could,
too.
if it goes well, you
Yeah.
know, then I Uber there to meet you and then you take me home.
there you go.
Just putting that out there, you know, for whoever.
Or you know that you've got control if you ever need to take your Uber and get there.
Oh, I can take the Uber
Friend out
home
of
and
there.
get out of there. You know, escape plan.
I assume that if I ever have a date and she wants to Uber to the date, it's because I don't know if she's planning on Ubering home from the date, but it's definitely part of the exit strategy, you know? Which I get, you know, it's just a new thing. This whole like Ubering to a date is still new to me. Maybe I'm still old-fashioned.
Well, also parking is an issue, you know. You don't want to pay for parking.
That is
For
so
parking.
true.
That's legit.
This is LA.
That's
after
so
all.
legit. Yeah, that's totally legit. Yeah.
Well, then what would be your idea of a perfect date?
Oh, gosh, that's hard. There are so many, like, okay, I'll just give you one example because I'm really bad at picking like one favorite type of thing. But you know, at LACMA they have those free jazz nights.
Love it.
Right. Well, I've got two. I'll give you two. Okay. My two favorite
Date the
dates. Date A is free jazz at LACMA because you can like take food and beverages, whatever. Like, and I like to make drinks, like mixed drinks and stuff.
Wow.
So I like to, and I love when like I get to make the drinks and maybe like she decides on the food and brings the food or vice versa or something like that, right? So it's kind
It's
of
a collaboration,
you know,
because then you learn more about each other. you know?
Yeah. And I've had first dates that have been like that, you know, where like she even offered, like sometimes she'll offer to be like, okay, well, if you're gonna do the drinks, why don't I bring the food or whatever. And the other one, similar but a little different, is, you know, the Saturday night movies, the outdoor movies that they do. Like,
So great.
that's like my favorite thing to do in LA in the summer. I could go every Saturday. I wish I had a date every Saturday because like
Well, you
they're
might.
so relaxed, you know. Like you show up at like between 5 and 6, you just throw down a blanket and Scout loves going, and there's just tons of dogs, and it's like really like you meet a lot of people because you just meet everybody that's sitting around you, and you can like share drinks and you can
There's
share
people
food.
of all ages, you know.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
cool.
It feels like it's the most community thing that I feel like in LA or really anywhere nowadays, you know. So those, like, I've had great experiences on movie nights because like even after the movie's over, you can just hang out, you know, on a blanket and enjoy the night.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
And there's no pressure, like both of them have an activity. So there's no pressure if there's not much to talk about. You can listen or watch and just eat.
Totally true.
Sometimes helpful.
And then Uber home.
Uber home. I like to get picked up, but you know, you can still Uber home if you need to.
Because you're a classy lady.
That's because I'm classy. No, it's all classy. Well, I think that's it.
Oh, that was easy.
So, thank you to our special guests.
And Scouts.
You're welcome.
Yay, we'll put information in the chat below or in the description below so you can look up Ravi's work and all of that. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've loved doing this Get Dating. I hope it's helped you get as in understand and also get dating.
It's been our pleasure.
So remember, you love you and they will too.
Aw.
And we should too.
We love you.
We love you, beautiful people. Mwah.
Mwah. Mwah.